Welcome, folks, to Total Nonstop Wrestling Talk. This is our very first episode today. We are here to talk about wrestling, obviously. We're mostly going to be talking about TNA. We're going to try and get into a little bit of WWE and Ring of Honor if we can. But we really mostly watch TNA, and there's really nobody talking that much about TNA, except about how much they hate stupid stuff. So we're going to be talking neutrally about what we like and what we don't like about TNA. And introduce us.
I am the Deaner. If you don't know already, you should have. This is my co-host Q.
And we're going to try and get an episode out every week. We're going to do a post-Impact show, and then we're going to try and do a preview for each pay-per-view. So the weeks that we have a preview for the pay-per-view, we're going to put that at the end of our TNA post-show, talking about what we liked and what we didn't. We're also going to try and have a post-pay-per-view talk discussion. We can't guarantee we'll have that every time, but we'll try and do that when we can. We'll try and get episodes out like Friday or Saturday after Impact, so just make sure if you are going to be watching the show, we are going to be talking about what happened on these shows. So if for some reason you haven't watched it by that point, don't watch, because we will be talking about what happened. So spoiler alert.
Well said, sir. Well, let's get right to it then, shall we? We're gonna obviously this is the Impact of the 14th of this week. First thing that happened, Eric Bischoff came out and was talking with our current TNA heavyweight champion, RVD, talking about how well he's been doing, how glad he's the heavyweight champion. Phenomenal one. AJ Styles came out to run his mouth, give both of them a little crap. I get why they're doing it. It's to build up for their match, obviously, on Sunday. So it wasn't a bad thing to do. I liked what the outcome was Eric Bischoff making the match for AJ Styles versus RVD versus Jeff Hardy. So not a bad way to start off Impact.
Yeah, and then we also got that triple threat at the end, which is, who doesn't want to see a triple threat with those three guys?
I just talked about that.
So, I'm just giving my opinion. Am I allowed to have my opinion?
All right, you heard it. Q's allowed to have his opinion.
I am. All right, the next match the first match actually we had was Tara versus Taylor Wilde. Tara continued with her little rampage where she's just like not playing by the rules. She's getting pissed off about everything, and she won the match by taking off her knee brace and beating Taylor with it. And
surprisingly, that can hurt like a bitch.
Yes,
it's happened. Trust me.
And Tara won this match, obviously cheating. Taylor did come down with Sarita at the beginning. Sarita got kicked out, which is kind of weird that she got kicked out for no reason. But she did anyway. Then the next match was...
It was Brian Kendrick versus Douglas Williams, who thinks he's the X Division Championship right now. The match itself wasn't all that bad. I'm not a huge fan of Brian Kendrick, but it was a decent match nonetheless. I like what they're doing, having Doug, be really pissed off that he didn't actually lose the title. He was stripped of it. I have to say the outcome, though, with Kaz coming down and about to take his belt away and then Kendrick getting the quick roll-up on Douglas, that was kind of predictable, but in the same way, there wasn't a lot more they could do since, they're headed to sacrifice with the match.
The next match was Generation Me versus Matt Morgan, the tag team champions. Matt Morgan with his ego as his tag team partner.
Yeah, fierce ego.
This was another match. This is kind of... I've been liking what they've been doing with this whole Matt Morgan thing. he thinks he's a champion because he's by himself. He thinks he's too good for anybody to be his partner. So he's been like taking out his partners, and then ever since he tried to give him partners, he's been beating teams by himself, and pretty one-handedly. And he did so again tonight with Generation Me. He just beat the crap out of him, and the match is over pretty fast. However, Samoa Joe's music hit right before he was about to knock out, I think it was Max, and with his scissors kick, and then Samoa Joe comes
Footprint
Carbon
is the
Footprint.
actual.
There we go. And then Samoa Joe comes down, beats the crap out of him, and then gives him a freaking muscle buster. He lifted that man on his shoulders and knocked him down to the mat. That was just crazy.
I know I sure as hell couldn't lift Matt Morgan. I mean, it was just impressive enough that he's carrying that much weight up on his shoulders. I mean, wow. Let me get to that match. I agree with Q about what TNA's doing with Matt Morgan. I don't like, though, that he has to plow right through Generation Me to do it. I'm a fan of them. They're young. They're very talented in the ring. I think they should be more respected as a tag team than they are right now, but they probably just had to do it just so Matt could just fly through another tag team with this story that they have going with them right now.
And obviously right after the match, the band comes down with their Feast or Fired case for the tag team titles, which I completely had forgotten they even had it because they haven't. I don't think Kevin Nash has carried that around with him since he won it. So I think that's finally everybody's gotten their shot with that. So. But he cashed it in. Obviously, is laid on Matt Morgan. He got 1, 2, 3. So now Inc. is going to be facing them this week at the Sacrifice pay-per-view, and we don't know who's going to be the partner. We know they'll definitely be Kevin Nash, but we don't know if it's going to be Scott Hall or Eric Young with them. So we'll see what happens there. The next match was a 4-way tag team match for Inc., Motor City Machine Guns, Team 3D, and Beer Money.
Let me jump in right there. Any match